So you mentioned you were going to play for an Iowa team, just out of curiosity, because I'm sure a lot of fans in the Midwest are wondering who was thinking about being on that team.
Oh man, I have like a list. I couldn't even name the names off the top of my head, but it was. I know like Peter Jock from the Hawkeyes was gonna do it. There was a bunch of high level like overseas guys who were gonna play. It was kind of a mixture of some Iowa State guys, some Drake guys, some Iowa guys. So it was kind of a cool like just Midwestern team that would have been put together.
You mentioned the GM, but I'm curious, what was your familiarity with other players on House of Pain? You know, like you have Andre Feliz, you have Malcolm Hill. Did you know any of the players before? Were you meeting them for the first time?
Michael Finke was the only guy I knew before, and that was because my senior year I played against him. He was at Grand Canyon his senior year, so we played against each other, and we just kind of got to know each other from then. And then other than that, Malcolm, Andre, Kyle, all those dudes, Nana, LaRon, I had no idea. Never met them before. But that first like practice when we all got to the hotel together, you could just tell the group of guys we had, we just all meshed together really well, and we all just we wanted to win and we were having fun while we were doing it, so it turned out to be good chemistry.
And can you tell me kind of your first experience stepping into the bubble? You've never met some of these guys before. What was it like getting to know them in a quarantine location and then getting ready to suit up as a team with them?
Yeah, well, the TBT and Puma did a really great job of obviously like player safety and player health, making sure that guys are staying safe during this crazy time. But it was different. You're stuck in a hotel, one centralized location. You're really not allowed to leave, not allowed to do anything, which in turn made it easier for all of us teammates to kind of hang out. The TBT did a great job of also, they gave each team their own like team room in the hotel, so we were able to get together at any time during that, and we would watch film, we would watch movies, we would watch just like regular TV shows, and we were just kind of bonding, over that course of 10 days we were there. So it was a lot of fun getting to know new guys, getting to build new relationships, and at the end of the day, just getting to play basketball.
Great. And so a lot of people don't know about that team room situation. I'd never actually heard about that. What were some of the go-tos, obviously, besides watching film? Any TV shows, anything that just kind of kept you guys busy?
Yeah, we watched a couple Ben Affleck movies. He was like the guy. We watched The Town. TV shows. We just watched like Friends. We were watching a lot of Kevin Hart. Just a lot of stuff that we all just laughed at. But other than that, yeah, no, we just go in there and we just talk and laugh and tell stories about college and things like that. So it was a lot of fun just getting to connect with those guys.
What aspect of your game do you think improved the most just playing in TBT? And as you said, just playing basketball again, because it's been a while for you.
Yeah, I would definitely say my defense, obviously, I think is for me the biggest thing that is improving and will keep to improve. I have lost a little bit of weight, so I feel like my foot quickness and speed has gone up tremendously. And then right now, obviously, I'm just trying to put on good muscle mass and good weight. But I feel like that's definitely one of the biggest things is I just want to go out and show that my versatility has gotten better. I want to be able to guard the 2 through the 5 and show teams that I've been working on this through quarantine. The TBT helped me with this, and then obviously playing overseas last year has all helped me with improving, just my overall game. So I feel like I've made jumps in every little aspect of my game.
And I know you mentioned losing that weight and now you're working on building muscle. What was your process to doing that? Was that during the year or during quarantine? How did you go about doing that?
Yeah, during basketball season, I mean, it's tough anyways to try to keep on weight. So I do eat a lot during basketball season. But once quarantine kind of hit, I was stuck over in Spain for almost a month and a half. And I just really focused on like my diet and working out, doing whatever I could in my apartment there in Spain. So I felt like that was a big key in me just kind of building the body structure that I want, making sure that I'm eating healthy and just kind of really focusing on making sure I'm doing the things to prepare myself for basketball whenever I can play it again. It was actually kind of one of the rules. You literally weren't allowed to interact with anyone from another team. So that kind of put a hindrance on things during that tournament time. But just seeing guys like that is very cool in person. I mean, obviously, I feel like I'm not a big guy to get starstruck or see someone who's like crazy and just like fangirl over them.
Mhm.
Um, no, it was fun. Obviously just being able to see some of the guys who have played in the league before, who have been on TV a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Great. And so next to Fletcher McGee, a lot of people don't know that you guys played together this past year, except for, diehard mid-major fans who will know it was like a dream team seeing you guys together. But I'm curious, what was it like getting to know him in Spain? Did you know much about him before? And then also, how do you think your relationship improved when you guys were teammates in Spain?
Yeah, I knew Fletcher a little bit before we became teammates. We were on a couple interviews together. We had a trainer that we both communicated with and through at the same time while we were both finishing our senior year. So that's kind of how we got to know each other. And then when we found out we were playing on the same team, I mean, first off, it's awesome because not every team overseas is going to have two Americans on the team. So for me, it just made it a lot more comfortable being able to go over there and have somebody else that I can communicate with easily. So it was awesome getting to know Fletch and getting to meet his family when they came over. And I know he got to meet my dad when my dad flew over. But it was just awesome building a relationship with a guy who I'm for sure going to be in touch with for the rest of my life, just because that's the kind of guy Fletch is. That's the kind of guy I am. But it was fantastic. Just building lifelong relationships and things like that is super important to me, because obviously at the end of the day, connections and people you're around is really important in my life, and I know in everyone's life. So it was awesome to get to know him.
Fan, what would your advice be to other players who kind of are maybe fringe NBA, fringe overseas, and they end up playing overseas? What would your advice be to make the most of that experience?
I mean, kind of like what you just said. I'd say you just got to make the most of it. Submerge yourself in the culture wherever you're going. I think that was the biggest thing for me. You realize when you first get over there, you're a long ways away from your friends. You're a long ways away from your family. And you're really on your own for the first time. These college guys coming out, but you just got to submerge yourself in the culture, submerge yourself in everything that's going on, because at the end of the day, things will go by so fast if you just focus on playing basketball, enjoying your time. And you got to look at it in perspective of, you get to travel the world while you're playing, basketball. You get paid to, do the thing that you love. So I feel like a lot of going in is just like a mindset, just positive vibes through the whole thing. And just, have fun with your teammates, have fun with your coaching staff, and really just, try to focus on being present in that moment, and not worrying about all the outside things that are going on. I feel like that's something that'll really help me going forward, and whoever else who's thinking about going overseas.
Just going to ask you 25 quick questions about South Dakota State, about overseas, about TBT, and just answer those as quickly as possible.
All right.
How did you keep busy in the bubble?
Lots and lots of video games, Fortnite specifically.
Good. And is there anything you forgot to bring to the bubble but wish you did?
I didn't bring enough Q-tips. I'm like weird about cleaning out my ears after I take a shower. I didn't bring enough Q-tips.
Best Fletcher McGee story.
Um, there's a story when me and Fletch were overseas, and Fletch forgot a play, and coach just started going off of him and like going off on him in Spanish. And I just remember me and Fletch just turned to each other and just started laughing, and like we couldn't control our laughter, and coach got even more mad at it. So that's probably one of the best ones.
Last TV show you binge watched.
I think it might have been BoJack Horseman.
Weirdest travel story in Spain.
Oh man, this one time we were traveling. I don't remember where we were traveling to, but this one lady had like 4 dogs. She was carrying 4 dogs in like these little over-shoulder duffel bag type things, just 4 little like Chihuahua type dogs. And I remember we're all like looking at her, just thinking she was crazy for traveling with 4 dogs.
Who are some artists on your pregame playlist?
Ooh, Gavin DeGraw, The Fray, Chainsmokers, a little bit of retro, a little bit of throwback.
Player you'd like to see in TBT going forward but didn't see this year?
I'm gonna say Rudy Gay. He's my guy, and I want to get him to play in the TBT.
And player you'd love to play with in the NBA?
Oh man, James Harden, Giannis, and LeBron James. I feel like those, just being around those guys would be an experience in itself, and obviously they're high level superstars in the league. So I would feel like I'd be a pretty good role player to them.
Best food you had in Spain?
Ooh, I think I'm saying it right. Paella. It's like a rice dish, and they made amazing, amazing portions of it over there with crab and seafood. It was fantastic.
Thing that you miss most about throwing it back playing at South Dakota State?
The fans, and just the Rabbit Den. That place was so special to me, and I mean, it's so special to me in my heart. I definitely miss playing in front of all those people there in Brookings.
And I saw you guys wear quite unique uniforms in Spain. What was your favorite one that you wore?
Probably the pink one. I wasn't a big fan of the arm sleeves, and I'm sure that it's like that in a lot of places overseas. But the pink ones were pretty cool to play in.
Any suggestions to change TBT going forward to make it more exciting?
Honestly, no. I thought they've done such a great job, especially just with this trying time that we're in right now. They did a great job of advertising it and making sure that it was so inclusive for the players. But I'm sure going in through the future, when all this COVID stuff disappears, they'll be able to do more things like have game rooms for players and things like that. But they did a great job.
And have you been offered a trip to Champaign, Illinois yet, or has anyone offered to buy you a drink?
Yeah, I definitely have. I've had a lot of Illinois alumni reaching out to me saying that anytime I'm in Champaign, just let them know, and a drink's on them. So that's pretty cool.
Last book you read?
Oh my gosh, this is a tough question. This is like back in college. Oh wait, yeah, back in college. It was Mamba Mentality, my senior year.
Okay, glad you got one. Is there a mid-major player you think might explode next year? Could be Summit League, could be otherwise.
That's tough. Okay, I'll say Summit League, and I'll say Doug Wilson for South Dakota State. The dude's just got great athleticism, a great feel for the game, and he's got a really unique game around the basket. He honestly he reminds me a lot of Ethan Happ in a sense of his footwork is just really tremendous around the basket, and he just finds ways to score. So I'm gonna go with my boy Doug.
Favorite thing about the Midwest that you think people maybe from the West Coast or East Coast would be like, what? Why do you like that?
I would say just the simplicity of living. You get out there and it's a lot of open land. You don't see a lot of people. You don't have huge skyrise buildings. And I feel like you see the ground to the sky and you think the sky is just so much closer. So definitely just the simplicity of things.
And who is the best player you matched up against in Spain?
Um, Probably Mirotic. He plays for Barcelona. He just came from the Bucks, so he was probably. I'm pretty sure he ended up giving me like 15 points the game I played him. But that was a pretty fun matchup.
Love it. And last, anything else that people should know about overseas basketball that they don't know?
If I think about it, the the fans have always been great. The living situation is great, and they take care of you over there. I mean, you just gotta go over with an open mind, especially too. If you've been in the States your whole life, obviously you're probably pretty close-minded on, and I know I was just close-minded on how things should be and how things should go, and then you get over there and it's a completely different lifestyle and culture, and I feel like you just gotta embrace everything that goes on.
Great. And so I know you said there's nothing you want to change about the TBT, but should TBT give all the money to the first place finisher, or do you think they should maybe split it among the final four?
Nope, TBT. I like the style. It's cutthroat. I think winning all that money, the big cash prize at the end, motivates players even more, and I think it kind of drives players even more to play harder. So I like the setup of the tournament.
Is there a House of Pain reunion scheduled? And if so, what does that look like?
There might be one scheduled next summer. We'll see. And I'm assuming if something does happen, it would go pretty crazy. I don't know Champaign very well. I don't know any of the places or the hot spots to go. But if we do something, it'll be pretty fun.
And thank you so much, Mike. Glad to have you on. I think a lot of people will be tuning into wherever you play next, but really appreciate your time.